Just trying to survive and learn to love along the way. By Foreplay on AO3. Episode 114. Chapter 114. Of Basements and Bunkers. The rest of his class arrives fairly quickly, and the message to pack their important things is passed on as soon as they enter the building. A few of them rope their friends into helping them pack to make it go faster. Izuku's not sure it works that way, but he doesn't refuse when Hitoshi asks for his help. It's easy, packing up his boyfriend's things. They spent so much time together that Izuku knows him almost as well as he knows himself. It takes them less than 10 minutes to unpack from his parents' house and gather everything they need. "What do you think is going on?" Toshi asked before they could leave the room. "All I know is that it has to do with the League of Villains. It feels like we're going into hiding or something." They leave it at that. Izuku doesn't want to be the reason they're running behind, so he and Hitoshi hurry back downstairs. Nearly the whole class is there by now, and his dad stands by the door of the dorms, with Radio and Toothless in his arms. "It's not safe for them, right?" Izuku stands next to him. "No, Midnight's bringing them back to the apartment. She isn't assigned to one of the dorms, so she'll be able to leave and feed them." His dad looks a little torn up about it, but it's for the best. He doesn't want the cats caught up in whatever's going on. It's only a few more minutes before Midnight shows up for the cats, and by then the rest of the class is assembled in the common room. Nobody sits, under the assumption that they're all leaving. As soon as the door shuts behind Midnight, his dad locks it and turns to face them. Izuku could see him doing a final head count before he's once again facing the door. This time, he crouches low, opening up a part of the wall to reveal a hidden panel. The class is silent as he presses his hand to it, and Izuku watches in fascination as thick metal sheets fall into place behind every window and door, sealing them in. "Follow me." Surprisingly enough, the class stays silent as they do as he says, although they probably all have the same foreboding feeling that Izuku does, preventing them from speaking up. They follow his dad to the stairwell and head towards the basement. There's only one thing down there, a small laundry room, that half of them forget about until they have nothing left to wear. They enter the lone doorway at the bottom, but only a third of the class can fit in the small room. Izuku's right there at the front, sticking to his habit of staying close to his dad. It gives him a front row seat. His dad fiddles with the washer on the end that everybody has issues with, and then it slides away from the wall, as if on hinges. There, hidden beneath, and slightly behind where the washer usually sits, is a dark and gloomy-looking stairwell. "Everybody down." Izuku's the first to do so as he says. The stairwell is almost too steep. Izuku trips and nearly meets his demise on the concrete steps a few times before the person behind him, Yaoyuzu, offers her hand. He accepts it, spying others linking together behind her in the darkness. It's thankfully easier to lead the way down the stairs with a hand to hold, and the problem becomes how long the staircase is. It's so long that Izuku feels like he's been walking forever before they reach the bottom. He walks right into a hard door, and several people collide with his back before others realize that the train has stopped. He fumbles around for a minute, searching for a doorknob. He breathes out a sigh of relief when he finds it. Izuku continues leading the way, now into a well-lit hallway that's wide enough for everyone. There are a few doors along the way, but Izuku walks to the end, making sure there's enough space for everyone behind him. He's not tall enough to see what his dad is doing on the other end of the hall. It makes him a little nervous, not being able to see what's happening, but thankfully he still has Yaoyuzu next to him, who is far taller than he is. She's also clever and observant, so she easily spots his dilemma. Aizawa-sensei's just doing something to the door. Looks like some complicated lock. "Thank you." He quiets, but they could have been yelling for how loud their conversation sounds compared to the silence of the rest of the class. His dad moves through one of the doorways, and they follow obediently. They find themselves in a common room of sorts, similar enough to the one upstairs, except for the sad concrete walls. There are enough couches that Izuku thinks they could all fit on one if they're squished, and a small TV in the corner. One of the couches separates the room from a small kitchen. His dad and Mirako stand against one of the walls, so they take that as their cue to find a place on the couches. Izuku's lucky enough that he ends up between Toshi and Shouta. Now that we're down here, I'll explain the situation. Please save your questions for the end. His dad waits until they all give him nods of agreement before starting his explanation. Tsukelchi has an inside guy in the League of Villains. That much doesn't come as a surprise. Izuku doesn't know how else a detective would get all the info that he has. While they've been fairly quiet lately, there has been some rumors. Some of them have been ridiculously and impossible, but there's one that stuck out. One that Tsukelchi's guy confirmed early this morning. From the grim looks on everyone's faces, Izuku can tell that they're all thinking the same thing he is. They're planning an attack here. There's a few panicked shouts, but they quiet down when his dad turns his glare on them. We don't know when it will be, so we're stuck hiding in these bunkers until it blows over. Every class is doing the same with different pros, for protection. Unfortunately, we only have one additional hero, since you all have experience fighting villains, and only so many can be spared. A hand shoots up as soon as his dad stops to breathe. Ida, I said to hold your questions to the end. I'm assuming that has to do with the next point, so I'll allow it. His dad looks like he's not up for a fight. Do we need to worry a lot? We are in a protected bunker. It looks like that's exactly the question his dad was expecting. I don't think a few sheets of metal and a washing machine will do much to keep Shigaraki back. That's why there are heroes in the bunkers as well. While Izuku wants to hope that the League won't get past the rest of the security, he knows it's useless. They're in trouble if the League comes at them full force. Sure, his class is strong. They're all aiming for the top, pushing themselves further than they should be able to in order to become heroes. But only a few of them have actually faced villains. He'd rather none of them have that experience, considering they're only first years. But once the Leagues attack, they'll be grateful for that experience. You all need to be prepared to fight at a moment's notice. Unfortunately, we don't have enough comm devices for the entire class. But I had enough to supply your class representatives with them. Mirako and I each have one as well. It sucks that they don't have enough, but there was probably no time to contact a hero agency for some extras. Other than this room, there are 4 other rooms down here. A girl's room, a boy's room, a separate bathrooms for the 2. Mirako and I will each be supervising a room. A couple people look disgruntled at the thought of sharing a room with so many people. They shared rooms at the training camp, but that was only for a few days. Now it's for who knows how long, in a dark and creepy bunker. I know you're not happy. Neither am I. But this is for your safety, so we'll all just have to deal with it. Girls, you can follow Mirako into your room, and the boys can follow me. They wait until the girls leave before walking the short distance to the boys' room. It's depressing, to say the least. There are 7 beds against each wall, each with a small desk and chair beside them. There's a door at the other end of the room that can only lead to the bathroom. Izuku hates the next thought that enters his mind. He hopes that the League attacks soon. Yeah, that is a depressing thought, hoping that the League attacks soon. But, I understand. You're down in a bunker and you don't know how long it's gonna be, right? But the simple fact that Izuku says, I hope they attack soon, something tells me they're not gonna attack soon. It's gonna be a while. And, dude, my condolences goes to Aizawa and Present Mike. I'm sorry, you separated the husbands? Nezu? That's evil. I get why. I rationally get why. But at the same time, that's evil, dude. But, okay. Chapter 115 is called Of Small Spaces in a Dark Room. 2 weeks have gone by without the sight of the League. When will this madness end? I feel like we're gonna have a couple chapters of just, them in these bunkers, right? And then the attack happens. Or maybe there isn't even gonna be an attack. Or maybe when the coast finally clears and they all go up, that's when the attack happens. Those are my theories. Just saying, those are my theories. Anyways, I have to go now because we're about to go celebrate my mother's birthday. As of today, we're celebrating it. And tomorrow, as of today as recording, is when her birthday is. As of when this was recorded. It's not anymore, so those typing happy birthday to my mom in the comments, you're a little late. I'll tell them, I'll tell her that you guys said happy birthday. It'll just be like a couple days afterwards, you know? But, no, yeah. Anyways, as always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.